Hi, it's me, Larissa, again, and this is the 6th episode of the ArkInspire series. This one's going to be over the Dive Bar Poets. About 2 weeks ago, I was invited to go to an open mic at White Water Tavern, and I wanted to go ahead and show some of that. I also got a couple interviews with Lilith McFarlane, Holly Rocket, and Justin Booth. So this is going to be a two-parter because I also have a bunch of clips from that night that I really want to show. But I'm going to go ahead and get right into it so that I don't waste any time.
Because if you've noticed the cameras in the back, we're doing a little documentary film, and they asked to hear some of these older poems too. That's two of the old poems, Kara, I swear to God. I love you dearly. I love you, you know I love you. I mean it. I know that if you've seen Kara Bibb read poetry before, that you know what to expect already, and if you haven't, then your face will melt. Join me in welcoming Kara Bibb, and we'll listen to her.
Big round of applause. I'm gonna get right to reading, because that's why I'm here.
Okay, so I'm here at Justin Booth's house. We're going to do an interview about the poetry readings and when he started doing them at Vino's, and then now that they're moved to Whitewater, what he wants to do with that. I'm really excited. I hope I found the right house.
No, probably up here would be better, but
Yeah.
do you want to like get in this area near the lamp?
Okay, sure.
Right, and we can slide that down a little bit and move it under chair in.
I have a little bitty tripod.
Yeah.
Itty bitty space.
Yep. And I chugged a Red Bull, so I'm ready. Oh, I don't.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so the first question I had was, I know that you used to organize the poetry, like open mics at Vino's, right?
I did, yeah.
And when did that start?
That, I don't remember the year, to be honest with you. This is going to be a tough interview for you if you want to pin me down to like facts like that. I'm tough.
Isn't it?
Right, it was a long time ago though. Do you remember, Darcy?
About three years.
3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
Dylan Jackson actually started the event. He had connections to Vino's and like that. And I lived outside still. And I lived like 3 blocks is where I slept outside away from Vino's. I'd walk down there, and at that time they did it weekly, every Sunday night. And I knew when I went, Stan Jackson would be there, and he'd buy a pitcher of beer for me. And so I never missed any of them. I was a homeless guy, right? And I could sit in that air conditioning. And but I was writing, and I did like to read the open mics in those early days. Not a lot of people necessarily showed up, and it didn't take long though to see how things were skewed. I was a much more natural performer, a guy on mic than Dylan was, and it just shifted sort of to where I was emceeing the events and getting things rolling, producing them and like that. And we brought Kara Bibb on, and she took a sort of a secondary role, but still primarily, if you don't stay on folks about a poetry event, you won't get anybody to show up. And I didn't have a straight job, and I was able to utilize social media to develop a little community gathering where artists could share with each other. It was a wonderful thing while it lasted. I hope the new Dive Bar Poets series that I've started at Whitewater, I hope it will have the same community effect.
How long have you been writing poetry?
Well, I wrote poetry all my life. I wrote poetry for things though. If something would come up, it would be the time of year that you'd have to whatever. If we get an assignment to write poetry, or there'd be a contest for some reason like that, then I would write poetry. It wasn't something I did daily, and I didn't consider it a thing.
Was that maybe junior high or high school or?
By the time I got to high school, I started writing pretty regularly, and I would write short stories. I wrote all kinds of things. I come from a family of storytellers, and storytelling came very natural to me. It's something that I did in some form or other all my life.
Has poetry always been the creative outlet that has kind of helped ground you? Has it always been poetry? Do you think that that's even true? Do you think that...
Yeah, I can't say that that's a true statement for me if you talk about my entire life, because I lived in that storm of addiction where I shot heroin, smoked crack cocaine for so long. Even though I was writing in there, I was still never really grounded, right? Now, I can easily say that it's the thing that ultimately saved me from that life. That when I began to focus more fully on my writing, and I knew that I would have to choose between the two worlds. This whole thing is manifested in my own imaginations. When I would write about the character Ethan Blue, that was a sort of a cooler version of me. That Ethan Blue was already off the streets before I got off the streets.
Mm-hmm.
He'd quit doing dope, and he'd started acting right. He's me, and so many of his stories are my stories. But I wrote this life. Without writing, I wouldn't be living the life I am living now.
That's really cool.
It saved me. It absolutely saved my life. No doubt about it. Hands down, saved my life.
What do you think it is about poetry that does that for you?
I think that everyone wants to feel like they have purpose. And I think when I began to take poetry earnestly, and when I began to get a little attention from the Arkansas Times and the Observer calling those guys that publish my work, and then Oxford American, and then people reaching out to me from across the country and around the world, these things were all encouraging factors that for the first time in a very, very long time in my life, are saying you have value, your words have value, mm-hmm. your stories have value, your feelings have value. And I think that everyone needs to hear that, right? And I think that through poetry I was able to hear those things, but I think that everybody deserves to hear those words for whatever reason. I think everyone has something that someone should tell them they're proud of about them. And I think that everyone needs to hear those good things, and that those life affirmations are very, very important.
All right. You're hosting the Dive Bar Poets, right?
I am.
And that's okay. And that's your project. It's once a month.
That's what we're hoping for. I'll as soon as I find out the schedule of that, I'll post a link and share that with social media in the regular ways that I do. And I hope you'll come out and read again.
Maybe.
Here, but I do just want to say that after doing Live from the Back Room with Justin for so long, and really being able to reflect on that and thinking what a successful open mic that was. Just already tonight, this being the debut of this new Readers series, I already feel like it's a huge success, so we can thank Justin for that. Thank you, Justin. That was it, thank you. Just kidding. I thought of that while I was taking that drink. I'm not very drunk yet. I'll get there. When people ask what became of me, answer quickly. Alcoholism and anorexia.
The old models run forever. Blue velvet under red satin, white lightning coming up your lane. Church on a Saturday where the lights go out, for even Shakespeare gets the blues. Tobacco-stained Panama hat and a National steel guitar. The language and music of the wolves. How do you want it? Glass or steel?
We're gonna take a chance on this. The night we smoked pot and talked of God, there was an arsenal in my head. The chamber of my mouth doesn't always know how to fire, doesn't always know how to make itself ready for a war. Some days I feel the need to justify all this doubt, to make it pretty and proper, to find the answers to life's biggest questions, or is it the other way around, and ain't that a burden too big for any one person to bear? To feel we gotta save the world, and not even the whole world, just the corner of the world we call our own, don't get me wrong. I do not imagine myself a savior, at least to anyone other than myself. I'm merely saying that today, my mouth is a scattershot. Today, my mouth plays tug of war with God, and I pray she listens. Pray she too makes herself ready for a war.
really think that artists have to be around other artists in order to grow. I believe that. I love to promote people. I love to give people those affirmations that I talked about. All of those things matter to me. It's important to me to give affirmations to the poets that are trying to be heard for the first time in the same way that I was given those affirmations. It's important for me to promote art because it has so much more value than all of the hateful discourse that goes on in this divided black and white country that we live in now. And I don't mean that figuratively, that literally. I don't care for a lot of the agenda of those other people, but there was a time when we could all at least, drink coffee together without, hating each other. And I am loath at what we have become in America. I don't understand how the rebellion has not already started. But alas, I'm a weak old man and a poet at that. So it's not going to start with me, but if you'll start, I'll pick up a gun. How's that? Right?
Deal.
Thank you, Marissa.
Well, that is it for part 1. I hope you liked this video, and I hope to see you at the next Dive Bar Poets at White Water Tavern on July 23rd at 7 p.m. And I want to thank Justin Booth for letting me come to his house and have an interview and use it for this video. And also to Holly Rocket and Lilith McFarlane, who also let me interview them, and those will be featured in next week's video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.